It does not need to be this hard. Okay, so, and I'm trying to find it on my phone.
Are we live already?
Yes, we are live.
Yeah, we sure are. Look at that. I just saw the notification.
Okay with her over there?
Oh, she quiet, so we good.
Yep.
Yeah, we live.
We live.
We live.
All right.
Let me try to share this out a little bit.
Okay. And yeah. That is so stressful. And it's one of those type of things you have to do it a couple of times before it sits in your head. Now I got it.
Now we got it.
Yeah, the other way that should work, you should be able to hit the go button and it go, but like you're able to go live anytime you want to, right?
Hey, Miss Craft and Turf. Hey, Patricia, how you doing? Yeah, so the reason why I never have issues is because I've never done that custom live streaming. But we got one in the building. Patricia Roberts, how you doing this evening?
Hi, Patricia.
I shared it there. Let me see if I can share it one more place, and we can get this party started.
Hi.
Just bear with us, people. You just do not understand what we went through to pull this off. I'm trying to tell you.
Let's put it this way. This wine needed to be done. I think I need to fill my glass up a little bit.
Okay, let me share the Facebook real quick.
Thank you.
Two shakes, people, and we're gonna get this party started. So we are doing what we're doing fresh apple juice.
We're doing apple ginger wine.
We're doing apple ginger. Make some apple ginger wine. You're gonna need to turn that down and go somewhere else, my love, because you're gonna start a feedback around these parts.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So how you doing, Patricia? You doing all right today?
No, don't share here. Share in a group.
Hey, Super Saiyan!
Boom, we're gonna share it there.
Oh my.
We're gonna tag.
I need water.
Easily in there. Hopefully she's awake and she sees it, and then boom. Well, she's a night owl anyway, so we're good. I said we're good. I shared it out.
Good.
Just staying in the building. Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right.
Okay.
So she's well. That's good. You're well.
Good. Good to hear it. Good to hear it.
That's great. How's your what is it? Is it Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
I feel like it's been an entire week already.
I know, doesn't it? How's the weather over where you at? Is it like cloudy, misty, rainy?
It is amazing. It is literally.
Oh, I hate you.
It is spring in November right now, which is dope because the things that I dropped in the ground a little late, it seems like they're going to do just fine. Like my kohlrabi that I got in like a month late is forming bulbs, and by the time the temp starts to drop when I get back in town, it'll be the perfect time for me to throw the hoop house, my little portable hoop house that I got from my planters on my front bed. I'll be able to wrap them up, and it should give them enough energy to keep pushing a little longer, probably up till around Christmas. And I'll take what I got after Christmas because it's going to be way too cold after December. When we roll into January, I know it's going to be too cold. I'll let them go as long as they seem like they're still going.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with brassicas, as long as they can take the cold. That's not the problem. It's just keeping that heavy frost off them. That
right. And I think the hoop house is going to do that. She said, "I got to get me a wine kit to make some wine. I made wine as a kid with my cousins." Yeah. So listen, check this out. In a pinch today, I looked up local breweries in my neighborhood, and there was one. Out of curiosity, I looked, And there was one, I went in that store and I lost my mind. I went there for like 2 things and it turned into like it turned into like, you know, when you go in Walmart for 2 things and then you leave with a car full of stuff?
Yes.
That's pretty much how that went down. So the reason why we're doing apple wine though is because it's in season. So, you know, especially if you're a forger and you like going out and foraging for different things that you can find in nature, foraging apples is probably one of the best type of varieties of apples that you can use for wine because they're super tart, so they do really well in wine.
Yes.
Now, your store-bought apples you can get away with, but I caution you to do a little research so you can end up with the result that you're looking for when it comes to making wine, which is what I did. I did quite a bit of research. We're not going to unveil what type of apple juice.
No, we're not.
We're keeping it secret from each other. But when we unveil this in the spring, like Miss Kraft said, of course, we're missing the body tonight. We're missing Led. He's out saving the world right now.
Yes, he is. Got to keep
But Led is going to catch up. So all 3 of us are doing the same recipe, but our own kind of way. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So I will be giving the basics of the recipe. So if anybody wants to follow along, but the actual ingredients that you would want to add, make them your own. Okay, so we're going to go from there. So just to get this thing kicked off and started, we individually juiced about 20 plus pounds of apples. So you really do want to do, if you're going to do fresh fruit, you want to do them in season and do them either growing them your own, so it'll be quote unquote free, or again, in season, so it won't be as expensive to buy from a market or the grocery store. So with apples being in season, again, you're going to get different varieties of apples now than you would any other time of the year. So that opens the door to creativity as well. So
Right.
again, we juiced about 20 plus pounds of apples.
You did 20. I did 40, y'all.
Hey, hubby, say hi.
I wanted a full 2 gallons over here. You know, I'm gonna keep myself
Yeah. So
and share out a little bit, but that's the lesson I learned off the first batch. Like I got done sharing and I was like, I don't have anything left for me.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard when you're doing just a gallon. So we got, I got about 1.5 gallons out of all of my apples that I did. So, you know.
Yeah. And out of 4 gallons,
a gallon for about 20 pounds.
Yeah, that sounds about right because out of my 40 pounds, I walked away with about 3 gallons. So I saved 2 gallons for this batch and then I drank it. I drank the other gallon. I drank the other gallon clean, but you know, it kind of gave me a lot of perspective as far as what my base tasted like and what I could do to bring it to that finishing touch.
Yeah.
In the end. So, you know, it was kind of nice to have that extra gallon just to drink on. For one, it was delicious, right?
I bet.
And then 2, I understood what the foundation of my wine was before I get the mixing and making the musk out of it. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Love Notes, how you doing?
Hey, Love Notes, how you? Welcome to the live. I'm trying to get comfortable with this thing, so thank you for showing up for me. Believe me, this was a feat to get this going, but we finally did. So
Right.
It took 2 hits to get this thing going live. So
anybody watching, has anyone? Hey, FR, how you doing? Hey, Felicia.
FR, hey girl.
You getting down on some apple wine with us? So has anybody in the chat made apple wine before? And if so, what kind of apples did you use? You know? And while we chat, you know, I still need to get my OG reading off of my juice.
Yeah. The premise of this is really laid back. It's not really meant to be a, you know, step-by-step instruction kind of thing. This is like 2 friends hitting the Zoom. Let's make some wine. Let's get down with it. So yeah, so if anybody else has actually made apple wine, I would love to hear which type of apples that you've actually used.
Hey, Debbie Thomas,
Hey,
how you
Debbie
doing?
Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
So,
the reason.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. This is your live. I'm about to hijack your live.
Okay. The reason why we're going to take the reading early first, before we add any sugar to it, is to determine how much natural sugar, or how dense it already is. So what we're going to do now, Robert's putting it in a beaker to measure. Because I'm in the beginning stages of it, I'm going to just drop it right in the bucket. I think.
Oh, look at you being all. Look at you. You got cheat codes. I'm about to do the same thing. Nah. Got the cheat codes.
No, I can't do it in the bucket. Don't do it in the bucket. It's not deep enough.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Well, abort mission. See? Mine was probably deep enough though, because I've got 2 gallons, but it's not deep enough. It's still not deep enough. I can tell by the cylinder.
Yeah,
so,
I do that with my 5-gallon one.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the reason why I was always gonna do this is because y'all listen. I did this mix. I told you I did a mix about a week ago, right? That I'm actually gonna rack off tomorrow. It's actually over a week. It's like 12 days ago at this point. I did it with my sister-in-law while she was here, and no, that wasn't the batch I did with her. But the batch I did before my sister-in-law got here, which was actually, yeah, that would make sense that it's been about almost 2 weeks. But when I got done and I didn't measure the OG beforehand, what happened was I ended up with an OG reading that was like 1.160 or something crazy like that. So, and the reason why it was so high was because I added what I thought, I did it the same way I did it the first time, which was when I just dumped in 3 pounds of sugar. And because I just dumped in 3 pounds of sugar without taking any measurements, the natural juices that's in grape juice, because grape juice was my base for that other wine, it was super sweet when I added all that sugar. So I learned my lesson, but I learned it the hard way because so now that I learned it the hard way, you guys don't have to learn it the hard way. So
okay.
I'm not going to tell you what my reading is because I don't want Miss Craft to have any leverage on me. We're competing now. Yeah, I'm competing with the
you're now
sensei.
competing. The sensei and the Turing is going up against each other.
Yeah, and like let it catch up with us. Y'all probably see him do a little video catching up with us.
Yeah, he's a Hokage.
But he's a bit busy tonight, so we're gonna catch him on the flip side.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So from here, like I said, if you're gonna juice your own apples, you want to skim off a lot of that foam, as much of the foam as you can, because all of that is just pectin, and that takes a while for it to break down with yeast. I'm sorry, you can't even see my face. That takes a while to break down when you're doing the pectin within the juice, and it'll take a really long time for your wine to clear up on its own. Now they do have additives that help with that. It's called pectin enzyme, and what that does is help break down the cell walls in your fruit, help draw more of the juice out of it. I like to do things a little bit natural, especially if I know I'm going to let it sit for a while. If I wanted something like this to turn over within 3 months, then I would probably do the pectin because I wanted to clear up quickly. But if I know it's just going to sit and do its thing, I don't bother. But it's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, sorry, love notes. We keeping that a secret. But what I will tell you is, foraged apples that tend to be more so on the tart side than on the super sweet side, like let's say if you just got, or not even super sweet, like a subtle sweet, like a red delicious apple. From the research that I did, and Ms. Kraft, please step in if I'm wrong. You know, I don't want to give anybody no misinformation. We are fallible people. But you're not going to really get the finish that you're looking for. So you want a tartar type of apple. That's why foraged wines are really good for like apple cider vinegars and stuff like that.
Correct.
So
you're absolutely correct. The sweeter it is, the sweeter your finish is going to be. Now, again, it depends on how much sugar you want to add, but yeast, it also depends on the yeast you're using. That will determine how the finish is as well. So, I mean, it's a balance between a lot of things, but usually when you're dealing with wine, you want to deal with things that have a little bit of a, bite to them, especially when it comes to apple. So yes, Robert, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So that's why that's what I would recommend to you. Now, you can throw some things out there, like as far as what you think we may have used, and I'm still not going to tell you, but it'd be fun for y'all to see what your guesses are after I gave you that information. And as you can see, I'm even keeping the yeast I'm using a secret. I tucked it over to the side, and we have no idea what kind of yeast each other are using, and we have no idea. Hey, how you doing, Chandrika? I think that's what that is. Chandrika, how you doing? Jay, there he goes.
Hey, Jay, how you doing, my friend?
That's the first loser in the building. No, I'm joking.
Oh, see, you ain't right. You ain't right. Stop that.
Can you mix the apples? Yes, you definitely can. You can pick two different.
He's got some pure wine coming for you.
Would you say you broke up a lot just now?
Yeah. So he's got some pear wine coming for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got the pear wine on the way. Yeah, haha, shots fired. Got the pear wine on the way. I want to taste that pear wine. Time for more wine. Yeah, follow along, everyone. Can you mix apples? But yeah, Quamsia. Yeah, you can definitely mix up apples if necessary. If it's going to be necessary for the batch that you're doing. You okay over there? Did you fall off?
Yeah, again, this is a part of the artistry. Yeah.
Oh. What happened? She'll be back. If I'm still live, she'll be back. Give her a moment. Her internet was doing a little funk stuff. Okay, so she's back. All right. She's back. Just give it a second. She's jumping back on.
I'm back.
Yeah, it's still a little choppy.
It's weird.
You're still chopping up a little bit. Go out, everybody.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, she's back though. So what you see me do over here is this is me.
I need to get a booster or something because I'm sitting like literally right next to my.
You say it's at 9%. Felicia, you say I'm not the first loser, more like the second winner. LOL. Nah, if you ain't first, you last. You ain't first, you last, Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you last. Yeah, so I'm proofing my yeast over here. One cliff note to you guys. So I juiced this a few days ago. And it's been sitting in the fridge. So if you do something like that where yours is sitting in the fridge, Oh, we lost Miss Craft again. She'll be back. But if you had yours stored in the fridge for waiting, like I was waiting to get this rolling, and you juice them ahead of time, you're gonna want to pull out your yeast. I mean, you're gonna want to pull out your container full of juice about 4 hours before you're ready to get busy, because mine was pretty cold. You're going to want your juice to be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's pretty much it with that. Now, another thing that we're doing is we're going to have to add some citric acid to it. And I don't know exactly how much, how little to do. Hey, Dolores and Tony, how y'all doing? Thanks for popping in. I don't know exactly how much you have to put in there. So we're gonna, Miss Craft is actually gonna have to give me a little tip in that realm. But I got my lemon juice over here. I'm also keeping that secret as what type of lemon I'm using. And then the ginger, my ginger, I did a little something different with it. So I'm going to be putting it in this muslin bag as it sits in the mousse. So what's that, Miss Craft? Oh, you back? Cool. Yeah, you're back. A little choppy. I know it's the internet that's doing that to you, but you sound like RoboCop over there. It's okay, it's gonna buff out. It's gonna buff out. I'm guessing Meyer or Eureka. Those aren't bad guesses. Those ain't bad guesses. Those not bad guesses, Jay Binion. Not bad at all. But so you can also do different things to play with your tannins a little bit by using black tea of some sort to add a little more tannin in there to complex your flavor profile. And then we're adding other things like ginger to give it that apple ginger taste. And of course, when you're pressing, when you get your fresh juice that you either harvested out of your own garden or that you forged, if you're a forger, you're going to need to add a little bit of citric acid. So, Chandrika, yeah, RoboCop for sure. Yeah, she got a RoboCop thing going on.
I don't know what the hell is going on with my thing right now.
You back now, though. I hear you loud and clear now. So you back. All right, cool. That's good.
Yeah, I had to turn a bunch of stuff off because it looks like it was just draining my bandwidth.
Right. You just had too many things hooked up at once.
Yeah, because notice everything was good until my husband came home, and then he turned on the computer and the television.
Okay, that's what did it.
Don't tell him I said that though.
He already knows.
So I'm gonna have to rely on you on the chat room, Robert.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I got it up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying they're back. They can hear you loud and clear. Kwamzia Hudson. Kwamzia, am I saying that right? Or is the K silent? Is it Wamzia or is it Kwamzia? Kwamzia. That's an interesting name. I've never heard it or seen a name like that. Goddess Leo. How about Yuzu? Yuzu lemon? Is that what you're talking about? If that is what you're talking about, I hope that you know by me not knowing what you're talking about, is that something I definitely did not use. So
okay, so I'm guessing you went over the ingredients by now, right?
Yeah, I was telling them, when you use a fresh juiced fruit like apples, we're gonna have to amend it with citric acid. And then I was telling them that you can play with the tannin profile a little bit by introducing a little bit of black tea. And then I also told them we'll be introducing some ginger, of course, to make it the true apple ginger wine. So,
yes. Yeah. Now, on some of the things that that he covered with that, these are like the natural kind of ways to kind of bring those flavors in. What we're trying to do, grapes naturally have that going on with them. And the process of regular wine, but juice wines.
Okay. Yeah, Kwame. I got it. Kwame.
Am I down again?
Yeah, you're chopping up a little bit. You're doing a little RoboCop again. And acidic. Oh, okay. So it's a very sour and acidic lemon, a yuzu lemon. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go hunting for this yuzu lemon. Sounds like slow motion. I'm grateful for you guys hanging in there with us. I appreciate it. So right now where I'm at, it's
yeah, I'm gonna have to like create a studio or something.
Yeah, she said scratching. At least y'all having fun with it. So what was I? So yeah, the citric acid. So how much do you know? I know you're not going to probably tell me exactly how much you're putting in your wine, but tell me how much at the very minimum do I want to have in my wine, because this is a first for me. So you're gonna have to kind of walk me in a little bit. If you're still there, are you still there? You're frozen. Okay.
Yeah.
She's frozen.
Like I'm still here.
Okay. So if you're in here and you happen to come from my channel and you ask for some worms, guess what? Everyone except one person has their worms on the way as of today. And that person, I emailed them back because they didn't give me a full address. So I need that full address for that person. You know who you are if you're in here, because I sent you an email. And your worms will be on the way. Now I still need to go back to that live video and add the links for the PDF and for where I got my Worm Factory 360, if that's what you're interested in using. But through this fall, guys, like, man, this is a perfect time to build up your stockpile on worm castings for the spring, for soil amendments when that ground loosens up for you, if you're in the zone like me. So another thing.
Okay.
I
jumped in on my phone because this thing is a mess. I am so sorry, y'all.
That computer is struggling.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Is it too late to grab some worms? Nah, Jay, if you want some worms, I got you, bro. Just shoot me an email, please, and where to send them. And I will package your worms up, and my wife will mail them off for you. They'll be in the mail on Thursday. So, yeah, I got you. So, yeah, we got Miss Crab. Boom. Can you turn it sideways? Do you put it in landscape?
Hold on.
Okay, yeah, you turned it. So you got you got 3 cameras running now.
There we go.
I mean, you got 2 cameras running. Okay. Cool. Fancy.
Okay, just in case it drops again.
Okay, you're gonna have to mute your computer.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Double crabbed. That's right, Kwame. Kwame, I like that.
Okay.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
That.
Oh, you don't want any worms, Goddess Leo? You Goddess Leo? Listen, the worms are so cool. My wife calls them her little cousins or something like that. What'd you call them, babe? Our baby cousins. Yeah, there you go. So,
all right, I think I got the echo off now.
Okay. Yeah, I think you do too. I don't hear it anymore.
Okay. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness.
You say no worms, no thank you. Yeah, Jay, you should still have my email, right? Just go back to that email thread that we have for the live. Shoot me an email on where to send them, brother, and I'll send you some worms out. And if you watch that live video, you can either do it the budget-friendly way, which is going to get a container from any big box store, doesn't matter which one. Drill some holes in the top and get you going that way. But I encourage you to get the Worm Factory 360 because it's so easy to harvest off of it. Your worm castings, it still takes time, but it's just way easier. In my opinion, off of what I've seen other people having to go through to shift the worms to harvest your worm castings. And I'm definitely not telling you that because I make any money off of it. I didn't make it. So I ain't got no affiliate link for it or anything. It's just me. I've been using it for probably 8 months now, I think. Yeah, about 8 months. They sent me out one when they saw how excited I was when I saw it in my extension office, is where I really fell upon vermiculture. And I spent a lot of time in my extension office picking their brains because they've been doing it forever. So, but yeah, back to my question. On the citric acid, I need the cheat codes for the citric acid. What am I doing there?
Okay. For the lemon, you want a small lemon. You don't need a very, very large one. And it's just the juice of one lemon, which I think is about a tablespoon when it's all juiced.
Okay.
As far as using chemical or powdered citric acid, you're going to have to go with the instructions on your recipe for that.
Okay.
I do know it's a very small amount. I do know it's a small amount, but I just, like, off the top of my head, I don't know what it is for the powdered citric acid. But lemon will be just fine. And again, to what Robert was saying, you can play with your flavor profiles easier when you're using real fruit or real juices than you can when you're playing with the chemicals and stuff like that. So.
Goddess Leo, did you question? She said I made some wine and it tastes like almonds. Why? What kind of did you use fruit juice that you bought off the store? Because listen, Miss Craft made some white grape wine that everyone just swore up and down. She juiced that thing with some almond flavoring or some hazelnut flavor or pistachio. We even thought it was pistachio. It was so good. And that just might be how it broke down. So can you share with us what kind of juice you used and maybe we can help you out there?
What kind of juice and what kind of yeast?
Yeah. What kind of juice and what kind of yeast? So you said a tablespoon. So should I add the lemon juice in before, after? Does it matter when I add it in?
It really doesn't. This is kind of a dump and go. The last thing you want to put in would be your yeast. So I'm about to put, and for mine, like I said, about a gallon, a little more than a gallon. I usually like to use a pound of sugar per gallon. But I do know my apples are very, very sweet as far as density is concerned. So I'm probably going to bring that down to about 1.5 pounds. So
are we doing a tablespoon of lemon juice per gallon?
No, I usually just a tablespoon for the whole thing.
For the whole batch? Okay. Now, she said that she used mango and peach juice.
Okay.
And do you know what kind of yeast you use, Goddess Leo? Are you a Leo, Goddess Leo? My mom's a Leo. So this is my sugar, guys. I kind of already have it. Pour it off. We'll measure it off to about the amount that I think I want. I got my OG reading that kind of gives me a good idea of where that natural sugar already sits. So
yeah, and if you wonder why I'm pouring freely, it's because I have mine on a scale, so I can weigh my sugar.
Yeah, Miss Crab getting super fancy over there, guys. She weighing stuff out.
Okay.
You got a question?
Yes.
Now, the wife got a question. She about to type it in the chat. Yes, August 10th. That's dope. My mom and my sister-in-law share the same birthday. So
wow, that's kind of cool.
I know, right? So my mom and my sister-in-law share the same birthday. Then myself and my dad share the same birthday, and my wife and her dad shared the same birthday. So it was like, it was destined for us to be together, right?
Yeah. That's very cool.
What is the capacity of the scale that you're using? She's getting all in your business.
50 pounds.
You said 50 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
50 pounds. She got a big scale.
Yep. Actually, it's really small, but it can go up to 50 pounds of weight on the capacity. And it's really, it was an inexpensive scale that I got off of Amazon. I don't even think I spent $20 for it. I'm sure you can even catch it on sale. As you can see, I'm like in my rough state, but this will let you know that anytime you just have the like feeling that I want to make some wine, you don't have to get fancy. Just go and throw it in the bucket and make some wine. All right, so what we're doing now is dissolving the sugar into our juice. And then we're going to take an OG reading, our original gravity reading, and possibly play with the juice, add a little water or add a little more juice if you have more juice or something like that, to get to the number we want. Okay, what you giggling for? What's
Jay
funny?
Binion said you, Miss Craft, pushing weight. You over there pushing weight, Miss Craft. That's funny. That is hilarious.
Oh, that's a good way.
Can you give me another jar, baby?
Oh my. Yeah, I see you got yours all the way to the top.
You mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't playing around. I was getting me 2 gallons out of this. I was sad panda at the end of that 1 gallon batch. I was like, cause see, I start with 2 gallons, guys. I'm gonna end with probably 1 2/3 of a gallon. By the time I rack this off a few times, take sips along the way. So I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson.
Okay. Now we're gonna take that OG.
So now what we're doing, guys, after we got the sugar mixed up, M. Palmer, that is my mom. I was about to call you Malik again, but that's Mom Dukes. Mom Dukes in the building. Hey, Mama.
Hey, Mom.
Mama Turf.
Hey, Mama Turf.
You trying to make some wine, Ma?
What she gotta make wine for? She got a son that makes wine.
Yeah. I know, right? That's the same thing she's saying. No, I ain't making it because you making it. I'm just waiting on mine. And you part of the reason why I don't make one gallon batches anymore.
There you go.
I want some, and then I ain't got none for myself. But Lavita got you some. So she got you some. She gonna give it to you on your girls' trip out. Hey, Danielle Fitzgerald. Am I saying your name right? Is it? I think it's Danielle. I want to say, or is it? Do people call you Donnie? I feel like your friends probably call you Donnie or D. Danielle. I always like it when chicks have like that interchangeable male type name. That's dope to me. Like how did you juice press your apples? So I have a Breville juicer. I don't know what model it is, but it's really nice, and that's what I use is a Breville juicer. What'd you use, Miss Craft?
Same thing, Breville juicer.
Yeah, so I use the Breville juicer. That's what I used. You know, back in the day, I used to, and it's not a masticating juicer. Maybe one day I'll get the masticating one. You said amen. She said, my mom, she said, amen, Miss Craft. She agreeing with you. She don't need to learn how to make wine. She got a son that make wine.
That's right.
Y'all are terrible. Y'all are terrible.
Got to look out for mom. Come on now. Okay, I think I want mine just a little bit. Well, no, because I'm trying to think. That's supposed to be 15. If I got it at about 12 now. Okay.
Okay. So guys, what you see me doing right now is I took my first OG. I have some sugar left in the tank still. And I did that on purpose because I think I had a good idea of what I wanted already. And now I know for a fact that the remaining sugar is going to bring me right where I want to be. And this just takes time.
Yep.
A little bit of experience where you can get comfortable with knowing where you want your OG reading to be. So that's all I'm doing. Oh, well, you said it correctly, just like that. Now I can't even say it. Danielle. That's what it is. Danielle. Okay. So I'm gonna finish mixing up the sugar that I just put in here.
There we go.
And then go from there. Now, this yeast been sitting, and I think I might have been too cold. Oh no, I got some bubbles.
Okay.
It ain't many. It's not a lot, but we got some.
Yeah, as long as it's actually trying to be a little active, because like I said, we started with cold juice.
Right.
Yeah, as long as it does look like it's trying to do something, by the time it actually warms up in there, they'll go to town.
Right. Like I was telling y'all, my wine has been in the fridge for 2 days, and I took it out about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours ago. So if you juice your wine, you get done juicing you juice your apples or whatever fruit you're doing, you get done juicing everything, and you're not going to mix it up that night. Then what you're going to want to do is pull out your batch. I'm going to say 4 hours. 4 hours ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to pull your batch out, let it come to room temperature, so your juice is not so cold that it shocks your yeast. On the flip side of that, once you juiced your wine, your apples, your fruit, whatever it is you're using, you're going to want to apply a little bit of heat to it to kill off any little germs that still might be kicking in there. So you don't have to go full blown pasteurization on it, but you definitely want to give it some heat to bring it up to at the very least a little light simmer for a few minutes.
Exactly, and that's what you want to do with any fruit wine, even if you're dealing with frozen fruit. That was usually my mainstay, to use frozen fruit, but you do want to hit it with some hot water or cook it down a little bit to kill off any wild yeast or any bacteria that's in there. Now, an alternative to that, if you want to do a quick, fast, and hurry, newfangled way, they have what's called potassium metabisulfide, or Camden tablets in the wine industry. They're called Camden tablets. And what you can do is add that to your juice 24 hours in advance. And that'll help kill off little bacteria and things like that may be hanging on to the real fruit before you actually go mixing up your must as well. So that's another alternative that you could use.
Hey, Bessie Journey, thanks for popping in.
Hello.
We got Goddess Leo. This is a good question. She says, can I add bentonite clay as I mix in the beginning? Can she add bentonite clay in the beginning? And the answer is no.
No. No.
Can you want to break down to her why?
The reason why is that clay is used as an absorbent, a magnet, and it's going to pull a lot of stuff in that the yeast needs to chew on in the beginning. Okay. You want the yeast to have what it needs in the giddy up. So it needs something to eat, and it actually needs something to ferment. When you take the clay and you put it in there, it's going to absorb all of that stuff and have it settle to the bottom, including the yeast. And then your wine won't ferment. So yeah, so using bentonite clay is a last step. It's the very last thing you want to do when you're getting ready to clarify your wine. Like if you have something, for example, this apple wine is probably going to have a bit of a haze to it because it is pectin rich. If you know anything about making jelly, one of the things that you can add instead of powdered pectin is an apple, because it's full of pectin and it'll help thicken up your jellies. Well, that can float into your wine and take a long time for it to just kind of settle itself down to the bottom. So again, if you're in a hurry, you can, towards the very end, add the clay to help clear that out and get it into crystal clear. Some people don't care. Some people don't care if it's a little cloudy. Doesn't really matter.
As long as that joint hidden.
But other people want it to be crystal clear. So that's the reason why you do that. Another way to help with the clarity, and I mentioned it before, was the pectin enzyme. Again, with the breaking down the cell walls, it helps it, settle down because it's not free floating in the juice as well. So yeah, all of that comes last. Oh, I take that back. With the pectin enzyme, that's something you want to do the night before you start making your wine. You want to put it in your juice, give it a chance to work, then you can start making your wine. Some people use it in the finishing end. It doesn't hurt to do it there either, but it works best in the beginning. So that is something that you can do in the beginning if you wanted to try to help clarify your wine a little bit more.
Yeah, now, and that's another reason why we're doing this now, guys, and we're going to unveil it at the beginning of the grow season in the spring. So it gives us enough time to let it clear up as we rack it off each time. Racking off.
It's a joke.
As we rack off the wine. So, it needs time. So we'd rather give it that time to clear up on its own than result to a method where we need to kind of speed up the process.
Correct. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those chemicals and all, but to me, part of, being self-sufficient and growing your own food and doing your own thing is to not need to use those chemicals, stop relying on it. Our predecessors didn't care if the wine was clear. They cared if it worked. Ding,
right.
ding.
Whatever use they were using it for, because there's many uses to wine. Y'all got to go out there and look it up, but you got plenty of uses to wine.
Right. If everybody's wondering why I keep stepping back there for my tools, that's my sanitation bucket that I have back there. So where am I hitting? Yeah, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Perfect. Are you perfect, Robert?
I'm perfect.
Okay, so once you're
Don't
perfect
worry
with
about
this
what perfect
recipe,
is.
I'm gonna make my notes.
What's that? One.
All right, so I got my notes here. Anybody that makes wine, get yourself a journal or make yourself a journal. It helps keep your recipes together, helps keep you organized. They're really inexpensive. I got this off of eBay for I think it was $6.99. And then if you're handy with a computer, you can always make your own, get all the vitals that you want, and keep track of your wines this way. So, and all it really is in here, the only thing that's in here is basically keeping notes of the kind of wine that you're trying to make, when you started it, how big the batch is, what ingredients you put in there, your OG, your FG, and what the final alcohol per volume percentage was, any notes that you use, any the yeast, when you rack the wine, how many times you rack the wine, things like that, just to kind of keep you organized, and so you can be, if it turns out to be a good recipe, you can repeat it as well.
Oh, they said they saw your reading, Miss Kraft, and what did he say? And Goddess Leo said, "You about to be drunk, Miss Kraft." And then Donnie.
Are they sure that was the right recipe? Because I got several recipes in this book already.
Danielle said, "What are y'all using in your wine?" So we are keeping that a secret from each other, but we are using fresh juiced apples that we both picked our own varieties, and then we're going to unveil it to each other once we taste each other's wine in the spring. So we've kept, like, other than apple, ginger, and the lemon, we've kept everything else secret. Like this right here, this is my special, this is my secret that I got, you know. So I'm gonna drop this in here with it, like I told you. This is
I'm about to drop my ginger.
Yeah, this is called a muslin bag, and you can put whatever extra stuff you want to sit in there. So for me, my ginger is a bit more fine, so I want to keep it in the bag. And then I got my special secret ingredient over here that Miss Kraft don't know about, that just went in there as well.
Yeah.
And
okay.
then,
I got something for you, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
And then I'm gonna toss my ginger in the other muslin bag that I picked up from my local brewery store. And in my experience, I can't speak for everyone, but in my experience, the place that I went to was cheaper than Amazon. Everything was about $2 to $3 cheaper than Amazon. So it's worth Googling to see if you have a local brewery shop in your area to snatch up some of these supplies, because you may save yourself a couple bucks, you know?
Yep. Now, when it comes to ginger, you need to be careful because it is a very pungent spice. You don't need much. I think I put maybe about an inch worth, maybe an inch and a half. And I sliced it up because I knew it was going to be fermenting with my apples. I didn't want to get it too fine to help with the racking part of it. But if I did, similar to what Robert did, if I did want to make it fine to help bring out more of the ginger flavor, definitely a bag. A bag helps all the time. Same with fresh fruit. If you want to use whole fruit to make your wine and let it ferment down, it's easier. Trust me, it's easier to put that fruit in a bag and let it ferment off of that way than to have it free floating in the bucket. Yeah. Trust me, it saves you.
Goddess Leo, you said tea loose leaves. What's that? Is that a question? Tea loose leaves? Can you use tea loose leaves? Yeah, you can use that. Like I said, you can use that to play around with your tannins, if that's what you're asking.
And I think I know what she's asking. Yeah, you want to brew your tea first.
Yeah.
So you can use whatever tea you want. I mean, you could actually make a tea wine if you wanted to. You know, it'll taste similar to kombucha, but it's the same principle. But yeah, you can make a tea wine if you wanted to, but the tea needs to be brewed first.
Right. Then Debbie Thomas, we got Debbie Thomas laughing. And then Goddess Leo, she agreed that my winery shop, yes, for the muslin, I guess she's asking, can you use a muslin bag for your loose tea leaves? Yeah. Sure.
No.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
No, you really need to brew your tea if you're going to make it into a wine. And the reason why is because those herbs after a while will become extremely bitter. Just like tea. If you let your tea over brew.
Right.
Yeah. Yeast doesn't like it. So yeah, you really, the idea of the tea is really more of an enhancement than an ingredient, if you will, unless you're specifically making a tea wine. It's more of an enhancement. Another substitute for that, since you're talking about going to your wine stores, they actually have oak leaves that you can use, that you would set in water, and put the water in into your wine on that. They actually have tannin liquid that you can add in. If you did not see our tasting video, let me explain what tannins are. Have you ever had hot tea without any sugar in it? Just drink the tea and that dry type of oaky, leafy type of thing. That's what tannins are. And it's just an element in the wine. And some people like to have it, some people don't. Sometimes it's just a balance and a blend on the type of wine. It helps round out the profile of your wine. And you could actually tell when there is no tannin in a wine, and it kind of loses its something if you don't.
Now, if you brew the tea and then use the brewed tea bag or the actual tea.
The actual tea.
Actual tea.
The actual tea.
That's what you want. That's what you want. Isn't that what makes persimmons astringent? The tannins? Is that what you're saying?
You're on the right path.
Okay. You're on the right path. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to explain it is to get you a really bold red wine, and that dryness tastes like leaves, tastes like oak, you know, that kind of taste there is what those are your tannins. Now,
Gotcha.
some people can't tolerate a lot of tannins. They'll give them headaches. You know, that's why a lot of people prefer white wine over a red one. But again, it's still something about not having some level of tannin in your wine that makes it go flat. It just tastes like water, you know. And same with the acid. Believe it or not, you can tell when wine is not balanced with the acid as well. It just tastes.
Right. No, don't like. No. So what happens if you decide to, if you wanted to make so if you're trying to make a tea wine?
Yes.
Would you brew that still, or would you leave the tea in a muslin type bag and then drop it in there? What are you looking at? What's going to happen? What's the worst that could happen?
It'll be bitter.
It'll be super bitter.
Super bitter.
All right. So you always want to brew off your tea, your leaves, and then just use that as a juice. So you want to brew a gallon or 2 gallons of tea, let it cool off, then pitch your yeast into that after you add your sugar and whatnot.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if anybody out there's ever made kombucha, it's the exact same recipe. It's just using a different yeast profile. Kombucha is using what's called a SCOBY, which is a symbiotic culture of bacteria and something. I forget the last part of it, but it's a living blobby organism that will ferment the liquid that it's in. And all kombucha is based in some sort of tea and sugar, and that's what it ferments on. Same with a tea wine. You'd have your, a few cups of tea, some sugar, a little bit of water to balance it out. Throw your yeast packet in there. Tea wine.
Gotcha. Tea wine.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. So I'm pretty much done, guys, other than needing to pitch my yeast. I'm giving it some more time to kind of wake up. I don't want to throw it in there quite yet.
Yeah, and I don't want him to see what yeast I'm using, so I'm going to put my yeast in after we go off.
That's why I did mine on the table. I was like...
Yeah. So, and when you're making wine like this, it's not necessarily that you have to pitch your yeast right away. You really don't. You can let the juice and sugars and all that, kind of blend together. Again, if you were using the pectolase or the cannabis tablets, they usually say, go ahead and set up your juice, put that in, let it sit for 24 hours. So don't think that, you're under pressure to throw your yeast in. But once you do, you're gonna want to pre-stir, your juice just to get some more air in there, a little bit of air, so the yeast can get started. Put your yeast on there and then don't touch it again until its fermentation is done. And usually in the summer, that'll take about, 5 to 7 days. Now that we're going into the fall and winter time, it's going to take a little longer because the yeast isn't as active in the winter time. But basically what you want to do is wait 7 to 10 days and then take your readings. And what you want is have 2 readings back to back that don't change. And that's how you know your fermentation is done. Don't rely on the bubbles. Right. Bubbles are nice. Bubbles are fun. That lets you know something's happening in here. But bubbles are not a guarantee of finished fermentation. Okay? You're going to have to measure.
Yeah, Goddess Leo, I'm watching this jar. You're right. I'm over here like, Because like I said, guys, my stuff's been in the fridge for a while, and I really want to make sure I don't want to have to repitch this yeast. Yeah. So I want to wait to see what's going on with this. I'm just covering it up so nothing gets in there. I don't want to be in there.
Right.
And oh yeah, she said you using champagne. So I guess she's calling you out on your yeast. Now,
no,
we're
I'm
not
not
in Champagne, so we can't make champagne. I had to correct myself earlier when I was talking to Miss Craft. We can make some sparkling wine, but she did say she was using a sparkling wine yeast the last time we was live. I don't know if she changed up and decided. I can tell you right now that I'm not using that. That's what I will tell you. I'm not using wood packet because I got yeast for days, guys. I'm not using this. Yep. This is the yeast that you would want to use if you were making champagne. So I'll go ahead and
that's one version of it, yes.
But there are plenty of options for yeast. I discovered that today when I went to visit my local brewery. They got all types of strands of crazy yeast. So I didn't even know that world was that eclectic. So
yes, and that's part of your profile. Those yeasts do not only give off carbon dioxide, but they give off flavors. So that's another reason why they're cultivated the way they are. So you have to play around and again, I always say that this is part of the art of making wine.
You use the green packet of Red Star. Isn't that the what is that?
Code de Blanc.
The what?
That's Code de Blanc. That's what we used when we made our wine the first time. Anybody that was making white wine, I suggest.
Oh yeah, I didn't use that.
Yeah, you did red.
I used the Premier Blanc. Yeah, I used the Premier Blanc. Oh, Premier Red. Yeah, Premier Red.
Premier Rouge.
Premier Rouge. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. That's the proper term.
Yeah, but there are tons of yeasts out there, and they all do different things. And some are specific for fruit wines. Some are specific for grape wines. Some are made specifically for red grapes. And you really got to play with the profile and again, just experiment. This is the fun of it. Just dump it in a bucket, give it a couple of weeks, and see what it tastes like.
Yeah. So, and that's why and you'll get a lot of good insight from your if you can find one. Of course, if you can't find one, then Google is your friend. But it's nothing like walking into a store and having a conversation with a human being with a mask on. So, I walked in there and I kind of just told them what I was working with, what kind of finish I was looking for. And they definitely kind of held my hand, walked the dog, and gave me a few different options. And gave me a nice little secret weapon tonight. So
look at him. All right, it's on. Let's see.
I'm coming for the ring.
All right. He's already, like I said, he's already talking, but you saw what happened last time. You heard what they said. I'm so glad you weren't in it.
Yeah, that's true.
This time I'm in it.
She would have dusted me off on the last round, guys, because that daggone grape wine was everything. That thing was so good. And I'm not even a white wine type of person. I will be playing with some white wine recipes here in the near future because of the experience that I had with what was it called? Miss Craft's Goddess Bliss or something?
Golden Bliss.
Golden Bliss. It was truly golden bliss. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I do like white wine. So, you know, I got 4 brand new fermentation buckets that I'm gonna fill up before I get up out of here probably. So I need to make another trip to the grocery store. I got plenty of sugar. We got the sugar. So
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to really dialing in. Like I said, once I get me a good rotation and get a few recipes under my belt, yeah, we got some bubble action. She alive. We just gonna let her finish waking up. But I got some
monkeys are working, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna let them finish waking up before I dump them in there, and that actually gives this time to cool off. I mean, to warm up quite a bit as well. We're almost at 60. We're at 60 degrees now with that, so I'll give it another hour, and then I'll pitch this yeast in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can't wait.
That was amazing. It was good, wasn't it, Jay Binion? That wine was so good. Yeah, Felicia said facts. You about to be lit too, sir? Mine, I'm not giving anything away with it. So
yeah,
you just gonna have to wait and see. Y'all gonna have to wait and see until the spring. But I'm working on a recipe that I like to keep in the family for a while.
There you go. Find that family recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really cannot wait to see how the ginger, because I've done apple before, and I do like it. I cannot wait to see how the ginger changes the profile on this. I hope it turns out the way I want it to. But fingers crossed. If not, I'll just start another one.
That's it.
That's what it's about. You take, and this is what happens if you do have a bum like set of wine that doesn't quite, taste the way you want. Keep it. Don't throw it away, because you can actually blend it with another batch of something else that may make all the difference. That may be the thing that's missing from the new batch, or a new batch that added to this one. Matter of fact, this is a blended wine that I have in my glass right here that I put together for tonight. So, and yes, it's delightful.
And that's how I ended up coming up with the winning batch. I'm a testament to that, because I made a batch of straight black cherry and tart cherry wine, and at the end of it, it was kicking so hard that I felt like it was just plain to me. So I actually used the other batch that I did, which was cranberry and pomegranate, to top it off. And when I did that, it turned into a completely different wine, from my palate anyway. And I was very, very pleased with it. I still had that kick in there that I was looking for. It meant business. That's why it was called Cherry Rush. We got 15.6.
Yeah, something crazy. It was something crazy.
It was good. It was so good.
It was good. Everything was good. All of it.
You say he cheated.
What'd he say?
F.R. Humphrey, she said I cheated. Felicia, you said I cheated. I got to make at least 3 more batches to break even. That's right. Yeah. Y'all see this big old, I got way more than that. That's why I'm keeping the wine rolling. You see all this potassium sorbate I got? We're going to be brewing. We brewing nonstop out here. I need to use this. This is going to be a long time. Matter of fact, this will probably go bad before I even use all of it. And that's a lesson learned for me. Yeah. I didn't realize how little of it that I needed.
I tried to tell you.
Yeah, she did. I don't be listening sometimes,
And it may even get to the point where you even stop using it altogether and just pasteurize your wine when you're done. Like I said, anything to make things cost a little bit cheaper, is always good. Less chemicals to me is always good, but I don't discount them either. I mean, when you know better, you do better. So it's just another way of doing it.
Right. It wasn't terribly expensive. I think that bag was like $8 or $10 or something like that. So I wasted money on other things that was way stupider. Patricia Roberts, you said 20 pounds of apples yielded about 1.5 gallons. So for Miss Kraft, she got 1.5 gallons off of hers. Yep.
Well, no. Let me back that up. 20 pounds will give you about 1 gallon. I did do a little bit more than 20 pounds, which is why I have 1.5 gallons.
Oh, okay. So I did 40 pounds. Probably I was actually probably a little under 40 pounds. I was probably somewhere close to about 35 pounds. And that yielded for me 3 gallons of juice.
There you go.
So my primary bucket is empty till Sunday. Yeah, you need to fill that up, Felicia. What you gonna fill it up with?
What's going on?
Yeah,
No
we don't keep empty buckets
empty.
around here. You need to always be brewing. Always be brewing.
No bucket should ever be empty.
Yeah. 4 new buckets.
Yeah. So what is everybody brewing? I thought I caught a glimpse that FR was brewing something. I just didn't catch what it was. But when I
FR, she said she was brewing. She said she started. What did she say she started? How did you juice your apples? Let me scroll back up. By the time I find it, she probably gonna redrop it in there.
Yeah, let us know again what you're doing, FR.
She said she racked her ginger lemon wine on Saturday, and it's at 9% and still chugging along, clearing nicely.
Nice. 9% is not bad. 9% is not bad at all.
That's a lot of acidity. How long are you getting any bubbles with all that acid, or what is it doing? I'm interested to see, because I did another batch. That's the batch that I did with my sister-in-law, where I showed you I had like the blueberry and the other ingredients that I use, and I know that blueberry brought a lot of acidity in there. One thing that I noticed is when you're using more acidic juices, you don't get that bloop, 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 that huge bubble reaction. It's still fermenting, but you don't get a lot of I haven't, for this time of the year, when we're doing it, you got to remember all those are variables, right? So for my time of year, where I'm at in my zone, with the temperature of my home is, where I'm storing it, I don't have a lot of visible action out of my airlock as I would prefer to see, like I did with my wine that had a lot less acid, pretty much.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what is
one of the tricks to dealing with items that don't ferment on their own because they don't have enough sugars in them is to add some kind of yeast starter or something like that. And the most common natural one is raisins. It's raisins. You can use any kind of dried fruit, so raisins or figs, or cut up real fine, and that'll give your yeast some nutrients to ferment off of, in addition to the stuff that's flavoring the wine.
Right. Yeah. So Goddess Leo, I can speak for myself. I'll let Miss Kraft answer for herself, but she asked, did you peel and core or just juice the whole thing when it came to our apples? So the only thing that I did was give them a double wash. I double washed them, wiped them down good, because sometimes they put that little weird waxy coat on top of the apples to keep them glossy and whatnot. So I gave them a good soak in the big old 17-gallon bucket with some vinegar in there and a little bit of citric acid. And then I had another bucket where I pulled them out of that, and I gave them a nice rinse again. And then I wiped each apple off with like this veggie rag that I got from a guy who he has I think it's called like Nordic account or something like that, where he sells all these household things, which the rags are really cool. I might do a video on it this winter if y'all are interested in picking that up. But then I wiped them off clean with that, and then I had to chop mine up because my apples, because of the size of some of the apples, they were a little larger, so I couldn't fit the whole thing in. The only thing I did remove when it was convenient was my stems. I took all the stems off. And then sometimes when the seeds were like readily available, I knocked those off. But because of how that Breville is and that screen is, it's like the seeds and stuff aren't going to get in there. So that's what I did. What'd you do?
Right. The same thing. I mean, I didn't double wash them, but you know, I got the apples clean, and you know, anything that was too large, I split them in half and just threw them in the Breville, because the Breville is set up in such a way that it will do the peeling for you. It doesn't juice the peeling. It spins really, 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 really fast, which is why it has a lot of foam in it as well. And unfortunately, you have to have it on that apple setting to get those apples to really give you as much juice as you possibly can. So yeah, that's all I did. No peeling, none of that. Nope. I ain't got time. I'm tired.
So Felicia, you're seeing very few bubbles. Okay, so it seems like that's a commonality at that point. And then Debbie Thomas, she said, so with berries, black and raspberry is super acidic. I've never done black and raspberries. Maybe Miss Craft can give some insight on that. You
talking about black raspberries or blackberries and raspberries?
I think she's talking about blackberries and raspberries.
Okay. When I'm doing a berry wine, I don't tend to add lemon to it because of that. They're tart. Now, if they're full blown in like summer season, when they're really, really sweet, and if they are sweet berries, then I will add some, because that tartness is gone. Either that or blend it with another tart type of berries. So you got cranberry is another nice one. Throw an apple, a Granny Smith or a crab apple to give that tartness as well. If you want to back away from a lemon to give you the tartness. But yeah, young berries, beginning of the season when they still have that to it and not very, very sweet. Yeah, I don't add any more acid to it.
So young berries are pretty acidic, and the more mature you allow them to get, they get sweeter and they lose their acidity.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
It's that tartness that you're looking for.
Right.
So things like cherry and cranberry and strawberries, those are great tart type of fruit that you can use that gives you that level of acidity that you might want.
Ones that make your mouth go. Goddess Leo, she's doing blackberry now. That's cool. How many, did you buy the blackberries? Did you find them in clearance or something? How many blackberries did you need to be able to yield? How much are you brewing? That's
usually with a gallon, you need 2 big bags of frozen fruit if you're using that. And I forget that. Matter of fact, I can tell you exactly now. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, Goddess Leo. Anybody else? What are y'all? Anybody else brewing up a batch right now? Tony and Dolores, if you still in the building, I know you said that you had that apple wine going. Was it apple wines that y'all did, and you kind of just let it sit, and it was sitting for a whole year, and it turns out you had wine or something. Anybody else doing anything special? Experiment with anything? I'd love to know if you've had success with anything. Yeah, y'all, this yeast, she waking up. I think the warmer this juice is getting, the warmer, the better.
Yep.
She's really waking up.
Yeast like to be warm. The warmer, the better, but not so warm that you're going to kill them off.
Right.
So,
and I think on the back,
you really want to look at your yeast's profile, because there are some yeast that like to be cold. They like to ferment cold, and it will kick off better that way, but they take longer. But they add to the flavor profile.
Right.
Then you have yeast that want to stay warm, get it done, get it over, get me out of here type of yeast.
Right.
The flavor profile really isn't there. It's going to make more of your juice shine through more so than the flavors of the yeast to shine through.
Oh, how about that? She said she actually used the mash from her blackberry from her blackberry jelly that her mom makes. That's cool. Cool, great. I have fresh cranberries, so I will, in doing a very small batch. And yes, the berries were on sale, so I'm doing wine and vinegars. Okay, Cool. That sounds fun. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun.
I mean, if you really wanted to, you can take a bunch of fruit, just the fruit, wash them off really good, throw them in a jar, throw a little yeast on it, turn the jar, put the top on the jar, and leave it alone. Come back to it next year, you'll have wine.
Now, would you? Yeah, that does sound good, Debbie. It really does. Now, when you're dealing with bagged frozen fruit,
Yes.
do you still want to wash that off?
What you need to do is heat it up so it doesn't kill your yeast.
Okay.
And what that also does by defrosting in hot water or letting it simmer a little bit kills off the wild yeast and bacteria from the fruit. Matter of fact, a lot of people have been asking about my peach melba wine, so that's going to be one of my videos, in the future, and how to do that with frozen fruit.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Tight.
Yeah, I got a couple of things I want to show y'all.
Yeah. Speaking of things that we want to show them, is anybody interested in growing and learning how to do hydroponics through the winter? Let me see a show of hands. While y'all throw those hands up, I'm gonna grab some because I want to show it to y'all. Outside of that light kit that you see behind me, we got a new little series coming up. And since y'all are in here, go ahead and tell y'all. So this right here are the containers I'm using as she teaches me how to grow the hydroponic cracky style.
Yep.
Super cool, right? Already pre-drilled holes. It comes with this cool kit, and the really cool thing about this kit, when Miss Kraft sent me the link, I was like, oh, okay, this dude, he wants for these 2 containers, the little things that we need to hold the plant. I'm assuming, I'm not sure.
Yes.
I haven't done a lot of research, but I'm assuming this is
Yes.
plant.
Now explain how to use those.
We got some food for the actual plants that's in here already. And then it's got this other extra container. I'm not sure what that's
That
for
other
yet,
that extra container is for starting your microgreens. Start the seed.
Okay.
That's a seed starter.
Okay, cool. So all that in that kit with the food that you need for, I can't remember how, he gives you all the instructions in there, but that kit costs $50 plus shipping. $50 to include shipping. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, I could do this on my own. Let me go buy some food grade containers myself, and I'm gonna do it on my own. Well, while I was searching for containers this size that were food grade, I stopped and I was like, how is he doing this at this price? Because the food grade containers of this size with the lid included, they cost over $25.
Yep.
So, and then now you got to consider if you buy it and you buy extra lid and they're food grade, specifically food grade. So now, like, if you don't care about it being food grade or not, and you just want to find something that doesn't have BPAs in it and run with that, more power to you. Your house, your garden, you do it your way. But when you're talking about trying to do the food grade container and you get those lids and you want to drill them yourself and you're doing it all from scratch for the first time, you might mess up, and
right.
Each lid itself was like $4 or $5 just for the lid. So now imagine spending the extra $5 for the containers, then doing it yourself and messing up and needing to buy the lid, you wait for it to get here, so on and so forth. So that was the easy button. I can't remember, the dude's name was Mark. What? Mark?
It's Mike Van Doozy, and
Mike
his channel is called Keep Growing.
Keep Growing. So Mike Van Doozy, he has an Etsy account, and he builds these for you, and he's got a 2-for-1 special. The shipping's built in. I went ahead and got 2 kits. I'm not gonna lie. So I got 4 of these containers, but we will be doing hydroponics this fall. So if you're interested in, you know, polishing your skills or just giving the hydroponics a swing, and you never know, it'd be good to have a kit on hand. And when they become talking about, you know, being self-sufficient and having other ways to grow certain things, this could be a thing for you. So if you're interested in that, and you already have a light system of some sort, you don't need to have this that I have behind me. This is an overkill over here.
Right.
But if you just want to get a simple light kit, which I'm sure Ms. Craft will go more in depth in, we're going to go live on the 16th.
Yes.
Let me pull up my calendar.
We're going to go live on the 16th.
16th? That's Monday. That's next Monday?
Oh, wait, well, no. I think it was a Wednesday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, 17th, 18th. I don't know. We'll make a post. But we're going live sometime next week about it. And you guys can follow along and learn hydroponics with us, you know? So I wish no space right now. Patricia, maybe next year.
You don't need a lot of space. Down. You do not need a lot of space.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of space. Debbie, you're in. Goddess Leo, you're in. Sweet. Good evening. What type of wine making kit are you all using? I want to get a kit, but not sure I should buy piece by piece or a kit. So what we kind of built our own kit here. If you go to the wine series playlist that Ms. Craft and I both have on both of our channels, so you can go to her channel and look at the playlist that we did. In the description of like the first 2 or 3 videos, we have the Amazon cart that we built, and we walk you through every piece that you need to do it the way that we're doing. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to try to save a couple of dollars in your local wine brewery places like mine, you can probably save a couple of dollars just by going to your local place like I did today. So you can
also try Wally World. They have a really decent kit for about $50, and it's a really, really nice starter kit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jay Binionson, I got my food grade buckets from Safeway for free. Boom. The bakery uses them for frosting and filling. So go hit up your local grocery stores. You know, they might got some food grade containers that they're just throwing away. And then at that point, all you need to do is ask them for the lid. And one thing that's probably going to be a lot cheaper for you is, especially if you got the space and the light that can give it the space, is the only thing you'll be looking at needing to do is drilling holes in the top for whatever you'll be growing. So
same with the wine kit, you just got to put a little grommet on the top for your
same
air
with
lock.
The wine kit. If you want to take one of those food containers from a grocery store and drill you a hole for the grommets, and you can actually buy those grommets on Amazon or buy from your local brewery store and do it that way. Yeah, you said yes, Jay, me too, Food Line. Goddess Leo got hers from Food Line. He said he pieced this together. Quality gardening for winemaking. So yes, the kit that we're talking about is for winemaking. That's the kit that we're referring to. Now, if you're talking about the, if you want to know about the hydroponics kit, that's going to be on, what's the name of this? I'm terrible with this.
Keep Growing by Keep Growing with Mike Van Duzy. I'm sorry. If you go on my playlist, and I have a playlist for hydroponics, and I'm almost positive I call out his channel when it comes to microgreens, how to grow microgreens.
Mike Van Duzy. I'm trying to pull up the link for the channel for y'all real quick. Keep growing with.
Yeah, keep it growing.
Oh, I found him. Keep it growing with Mike Van Duzy. So
yeah, really nice kit. Guy. Very nice guy.
Very nice guy. Solid kit. He's the easy button. That's him right there. You go in the description of his video or something, you can find his Etsy account link. My buckets for wine too. Oh God, thank you all. I got buckets from Dunkin' Donuts. Cool.
Nice.
I've done the same thing, a little 3-gallon bucket from the bakery. I use my solder kit. Boom, there you go. You got solder kit? What you do for a living? Goddess Leo. Not too many people got a solder kit. That's some tools to have on deck at all times.
Yeah.
I meant winemaking. Yeah, so my winemaking in the playlist, we kind of built our own kit. Or you can follow if you're comfortable with tools and getting your Brahmin and making it work and just getting some free food grade containers like Jay Binion did and a few other people did. It's super easy to do.
Yeah, it is.
But it's super, the prices are reasonable for going to a brewery and brewery shop and buying it as well. So, but free is better. I'm not gonna lie.
Free is always better.
Free is always better than $8. But
right.
To give you some perspective, I got two 2-gallon buckets with lids for $10.25 today. That was after taxes.
Yeah, because you also have to account for your time. Time is not free.
Yeah, time is not free, right? To make honestly, I use my solder. Oh, you use your solder kit to make the holes in the tops. Okay, yeah, so you just burnt your hole in. I think I would rather go a route of those circular saw bits. That way my hole's a lot cleaner. But yeah, that would absolutely work. Aerospace engineer? Wow,
yeah.
Look at you. What fancy. That's what I'm talking about. Aerospace engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to things like this, I mean, you can go as expensive and all out as you want to, or you can go as cheap and easy as you want to. The results will be the same. You just want to make life as easy for you as you possibly can. You know, if going the free route makes your life easier, then that's what you do. If paying for your time, it makes your life easier, that's what you do. That's the way I feel about it.
Right.
But you don't have to complicate things. That doesn't make that thing, so the idea of just drilling a hole, don't complicate it. It's a hole.
Right. And you don't even have to use one of those circular bits like I'm talking about. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you know the measurement of your grommet, you can probably go one size lower with a drill bit and achieve the same effect. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's probably what Lead was going to do tonight had he not been out saving the world. So, because I've never seen him use one of these type of containers. Nope. Every time he does it, it looks like something he kind of slapped together himself, but it works.
Yep.
And that fully loaded was fire. So the fully loaded and the lead poison, both of those were delicious. So I mean,
make you put your feet up.
Yeah, you gotta put your feet up after that. I got 6 buckets for free at Food Line. They keep them for me. I asked them to hold them. That's dope. Yeah, see, especially if you're a familiar face. Like if you guys saw when I did the No Dig Garden with Malik, he went to his local. My little brother Malik, he went to his local grocery store where they knew his face, and he was like, "Hey, can I go grab a whole bunch of cardboard out the back?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." So if you're a familiar face in those parts, I know a few people acting funky nowadays because of everything that's going on, but if you're a familiar face in those parts and they're friendly, yeah, definitely talk to people. And you save yourself a lot of money. Yeah, you say you drilled yours with a step bit. See, step bits of work. You get creative. Look, we can make things happen. We've been used to making things happen. People they've done less and still had success. So
absolutely, and again, a bucket like this can also work for hydroponics. So you don't necessarily have to get like the wash bucket type of thing. You can easily grow a tomato in something this size. So absolutely. I mean, I know a lot of people go to Firehouse Subs. I think they sell their buckets really, really, really cheap. So and think about it this way: that money is going to help firemen.
Right.
So, so it's going to a good cause. It's not just going into some CEO's pocket. Not that I have anything against CEOs, because, I'll do advertisement.
Yeah. I know, right?
But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we know. God is Leo, she laughing. Yeah.
So, are there any other questions on the wine?
Any other questions on the wine?
As we're getting some air in our rids.
I wish I made this one. This one is good. She said, I store dry goods in those buckets too. See?
Yeah.
Repurpose. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But yeah, any last questions? I'm here to read the questions, to let you guys know what let Miss Craft know, because I don't know much, I can't say that I'm a beginner anymore because I've done it one time. No. That's how it works. So I've done it more than one time. I've been making batches on the fly. I'm telling you, like, listen, my whole yes. Do you know the secret to making the hypnotic color? That's a good question.
The hypnotic color?
Yeah, so the hypnotic,
that blue.
That blue. It's probably
there's a couple of ways they can do that, but more times than not, it's probably indigo dye.
Indigo dye?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a color of food coloring?
No, it's not a food coloring. It's a powder. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a food grade indigo dye.
Okay, cool.
That's probably what it is. A matter of fact, hold on one second.
Google. Blue borage, someone said.
Yes, you can use borage. You can also use, believe it or not, you can use cabbage.
You can use cabbage?
Yep.
Would that mess with the flavor?
No. What you do, you're actually gonna take red cabbage. And you boil it down and strain it off, and then you take the reserve and you boil it down some more until it gets close to a syrup. And then you add baking soda.
Then you add
a little bit at a time. That purple cabbage will start turning blue. And a lot of these so-called natural food dye colors that are blue, that's what they're using. They're using red cabbage. I looked that up.
Oh, okay. Goddess Leo said flower petals. I'm assuming.
You have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful with flower petals because you have the blue butterfly. Bear with me, my battery's about to die.
Was it?
But you have the blue
butterfly pea, the blue pea butterfly thing? Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of people will use that. The problem is with that particular flower is it's reactive to acid, and it will turn purple.
Oh, okay. That's
because if you notice, that's what a lot of people will do. There's like, you can make lemonade with it, and then as soon as you put it in the lemonade, it turns purple.
Right. That makes sense. Jay Binion said,
that's what a lot of the
So Jay Binion said he didn't read his hydrometer correctly when he made his pear wine. So he has no idea what his alcohol percent is. He said, is it too late to find out? Like, what are his options at this point?
You're done. Yeah, once those yeast start to go into work, it's dispelling, the sugars. So you really have no idea. If you don't know where you started from, you don't know where you're going to finish. The only way that you can possibly do it is to re-ferment your wine and start all over again. You throw more sugar in there, throw more yeast in there, but you don't want to do that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You can possibly now if you are the mathematical type, you can possibly figure it out if you remember how much sugar you put in.
Ah, that makes sense. And then you would use that Brooks
Yeah,
conversion.
and you can kind of you back into it. If you remember how much sugar you started with, make you a water sample of that, and that'll tell you what your measurement would have been, and then you take that and subtract it from where you finished, and I'll kind of give you a rough estimate.
CJ, you got me scared. I went over here and double checked mine. I was like, let me check mine to make sure mine was right real quick. Let me make sure I was good over here.
There's another way to measure this. Have a glass, see how you feel. If you can drink another glass, then it's probably about 9-10%. If you can drink only one, maybe two, you're probably hitting about 15%.
And if you over there taking sips like me, like I was on round, what was that? The first time we racked off?
Yeah, when
I took like 3 sips and I was like, nah, we gotta I put the whole glass on the other. You know, you kicking over there.
Right.
Goddess Leo says she saw a guy make glue off of flower petals. Okay, yeah, and she explained that's possible. We just be careful with, whatever flower you're using, it can have a reaction. Wow, didn't know that on the blue dye. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know either. As far as laughing, he said, LOL, let's roll the dice and see if I get drunk. 4 pounds of sugar and 6 gallons of juice. Boom.
Okay. All right. So actually you can back into that. You know how much juice you use, and it's 4 pounds, and it's about a pound per 10. I got to look it up. Jay, I'm going to send you an email because there actually is a conversion of the sugar to alcohol.
Boom. There you go.
And that'll give you if you know it's 4 pounds of sugar to your liquid. So that's what is that? Less than a pound per gallon.
He did like 0.75 pounds per gallon.
So 2 pounds got me. Okay, so 2 pounds of sugar got me there. You're probably hovering around 9 or 10%.
Yeah, there you go. And then we got he has a channel where okay, so you talk about the guy that used the flower petals to turn for the blue dye. He has a channel when he makes wine and cheese and dried meats from Italy. That's cool.
Yeah. You can make that blue wine, but you have to be careful with the acid. It's probably not going to have a rounded palate to it because you just cannot put acid in with that flour. It will turn purple on you. I don't know if the camera can see it really well, but yeah.
Yes, vodka? You mean vodka? Thank you. I'll top it off with vodka.
And you can't do that.
We need to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers over there.
Yeah, I think you can. I think it's a 1/4 cup per gallon keeps it even without it tasting like alcohol. I think that's what the number is. It's best to Google that, Jay. But yeah, you can raise your alcohol content by adding vodka. That's one of the reasons why, when people were talking about what to do with empty headspace, that you can use a watered down vodka to help bring the volume up. That's one of the reasons why you can use that as well. The difference is that when you are adding alcohol, distilled alcohol to your wine, it does shut down your fermentation because it's just too much alcohol for the yeast to handle.
I came to play. He said, yes, vodka, you scratching again.
Sorry.
Nah, you came back. You back. He said, LMAO, not good enough. I came to play. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
Get the
right.
rookie numbers up, Jay. You need some kicking. LOL. JJ. They're having a blast. Okay, cool. I'll look into my options. Might be good enough as it is. I'm going to try back sweetening it.
You probably don't even have to back sweeten it, to be honest.
Yeah. So I picked up a whole bunch of another cool thing that I found at my local brewery store was flavoring. Like I found flavoring, and I mean this is way cheaper than buying the huge bottles that you might see them pumping at Starbucks and whatnot, especially if you don't know the flavor profiles that you really want to play around with. You can experiment, like each one of those containers were like $5, I want to say. Yeah. Sounds like the fur babies want to go outside, baby. So I got each bottle. I think the most expensive one I bought was the hazelnut. I think they wanted an extra $1 or $2 for that one. Which makes sense. It's hazelnut. So depending on the variety that you're getting, it may flex. So, but the bigger bottles, you're looking at spending probably on volume is probably cheaper. But if you bought a big bottle of something that you don't like, then you're kind of stuck with it, right? Whereas you buy the smaller ones, you figure out something that you really like, and then you can get the bigger one when you're using a lot of it or something. And this stuff, you can use it not just in wine, but you can drop it in your coffee, just like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and those guys do, or you can use it to sweeten up some water on a summer day or something like that.
If you have a soda stream, you can use it there as well.
Yeah, soda stream. Yeah, so there's different uses to these flavorings that you could do.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Well, looks like we got the questions out the way. Unless there's any last minute ones in, we'll give y'all a few minutes. But this has been fun. I appreciate you guys. So when are we going to do a follow up with this? Because I know Lad's got to catch up. So
we're not gonna pop this until spring. So we're in the 8. He's 8A, I'm 7B, you're 7A at the moment.
Right.
So we are all kind of looking at spring around the same time, which is gonna be about March-ish. I'm thinking when we're gonna start putting things outside. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I'll be starting seeds. I'll probably be starting my onions around late January. And they should be ready to take outside around March. Yeah, beginning of March or something like that. I got to relook at my calendar and my plans. But yeah, for the most part, I'll be dropping. I'll be bringing a lot of stuff outside. Now, there's some stuff that, depending on how my winter gets, like right now, it is super warm, and I looked at the forecast, and it looks like I'm gonna be mowing my grass and growing stuff that I probably shouldn't still be growing all the way through Thanksgiving.
Right.
So, because the weather's just doing funky things, so we'll see. Because I might have stuff that might not ever really check out. And I'll come into the spring with a plant that's been rocking on. So like my kale that's out there, the curly kale that I got out there, one of the curly kales I got out there, it's been growing since spring. Like I've harvested off of that. I've lost count how many times I've made kale chips off of it. And I got this bomb recipe. Listen, I'm gonna do it. If that kale is still here when I get back out of town, I made some kale chips that the recipe is just bomb. It's a honey garlic kale chips, and I done downed that thing all the way in. And,
that sounds yummy.
Yo, it is so good. I'll do a video on that here in the near future. I got about 3 videos, guys. If you are a subscriber of mine, I've just been so busy with work.
Yeah.
I took a week off because I kind of need to take that week off, and then busy with work. I'm about to do a little bit of traveling, so I'm busy getting prepared for that. Just bear with me. I'm hoping that I don't lose too many of y'all during the hiatus, but we're all humans. We all need breaks at some point. So
Yeah.
I'll get back into it, and I'll show you what the garden's looking like. I'll show you what the lawn is looking like if you're into that, or if you want to get into that. And then next season, hopefully I'll be doing a lot more of like instructional tutorial videos, since I feel like I've learned a little bit to where I feel comfortable to share with you what I've learned, and then giving you a few little tips here and there when I'm pretty much doing a whole bunch of garden tours. That's really all they are.
Right.
just for expectation management.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some traffic right here. We got Jay Binion. He said, we've been making a lot of Italian sodas. That's dope. Goddess said, I tried a soup berry juice mix and it was amazing. Sounds delicious. My mom said, bring me some. I might try my hands. However, I don't have the equipment. Hint. Okay, so I guess I need to get an extra wine kit to take to my mom so we can make wine.
Yeah.
I picked watermelon yesterday and ate a wow. That is crazy.
Nice. That is crazy. My watermelons were late this year too, so it seems like everything's moved back a season.
So yeah, my brother, he grew a watermelon completely on ag. Really, his kids did it. So they were at his house. They ate watermelon from the store. The kids, for fun, threw watermelon rinds and seeds in his compost pile. From that, he harvested a couple watermelons. That was the best watermelon he ever had. So he harvested the seeds off of that because it comes with a cool little backstory on it. But the funny thing about it is when they were growing, I was like, yeah, man, I was like, just let it grow. But I'm looking at your calendar and you like a month and a half late on this, so you're probably not gonna get anything. Mm-hmm. Well, he proved me wrong. Don't put limitations on nature. Nature does whatever the heck it wants to do. So
no, you're right. Because I was like, I kept looking at the watermelon, and I'm like, well, they keep growing, and the stem is not coming brown at any way, point or shape. It just looks like it just wanted to stay there. So I let it go as long as it wanted to the point where I'm like, okay, look, this has got to come down because I got other things I need to do. So.
Right. Goddess Leo, she said, what kind of dehydrator do you have? I'm assuming she's talking to you. I do have a dehydrator, but it's like
no. I do have a dehydrator, but I have yet to crack it open.
Oh, okay. So I have the dehydrator I use is actually a power what is it called? Power air fryer oven, and it has a dehydrator setting on it. And that seems to work very well. But if you want to see somebody who will dehydrate any and everything underneath the moon, you got to go check out Tony and Dolores, because Dolores, she's about to, I'm not sure if she dropped the video already. I got a whole bunch of videos I need to catch up on, but she's about to show you how to dehydrate your own gravy mix. Yeah.
Nice.
Like how you buy the gravy packs in the store. So she's about to do that. So, and I'm not sure specifically which dehydrator she uses. She tells you in almost every video, but she dehydrates everything.
Yeah. I know Lady Led does a lot of fruits and vegetables in a dehydrator as well. And
yeah, and she just picked up a new dehydrator, right?
I think so, if I remember correctly.
I think she got one this season. I think she got a new one this season. Because she's not even using, so she has the power air fryer oven too, but I don't think she uses it to dehydrate. I'm not sure if she tried it, she didn't care for it, or you said say that again. Yeah, so I'm not sure if she tried it and she didn't like it, but I've been using that for most of my herbs. I dry them out in my power air fryer oven thing that I have, that I bought one late night while I was watching ads on TV, and then I literally forgot that I bought it, and then when it showed up I was like, oh yeah, I did buy that. So they got me with those little telemarketing commercials late at night. I was awake, I was like, yo, that looks sweet, and I bought it. But it works, it does the job. It air fries just fine. The only function on there that I haven't used is the rotisserie function. So
Okay.
I'm in zone 5B. Most of my veggies and fruits were really late. And although we had heavy frost and snow last 2 weeks, but now we're seeing 70 days all week. I know, that's crazy, right? So
No, it was funny. It was funny. We were predicted to have our first frost freeze on Halloween, and it actually came on November 1st. It actually hit on November 1st, and then the temperature shot right back up. I'm like, what, why? Just one day, you know?
Right. Jay, you coming for me, Jay Ben? Yeah. The name of the YouTuber. It was Tony and Dolores, and then Ladyland. I know y'all know Ladyland, but let me look up Tony and Dolores for you and drop their link. Tony and Dolores. They in Chulahoma, Mississippi. CHULAHOMA. He spells it.
Yeah, they're not too far away from me. I know where Tullahoma is.
Yeah, Chulahoma, Mississippi. Chulahoma Gardens, Chulahoma, Mississippi. Yeah, that's Tony Dolores right there. Power Air Fryer works. Unicorn Lady Tech, your worms are on the way. I dropped them in the mail today. You should have them very soon.
Yeah, you're gonna like raising worms. They're fun.
Yeah, worms are fun. They're super easy too. I actually picked the last of my watermelons last weekend. LOL 10B. Well, you're in 10B. Stop showing off.
I know, really.
10B. You growing any and everything all year round. Stop it. You know what I mean? You gotta rub that in. Stop it. Goddess Leo, she's laughing. Thanks, FR. Yeah, so it's Tony and Dolores. That's where that's at. And of course, y'all know Lady Land. Queenland. It's on the way. Debbie Thomas and another YouTuber who's in Wisconsin also had snow for a bit, and now they're seeing 60 degrees. Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah,
so I finally took down my okra and my tomato because we were supposed to have a frost. It wasn't a true frost, like let me get this right. The north side facing of my house, that kind of got a frost because it stays cooler back there, but the south side facing part of my house did not get any frost whatsoever. So I'm not calling it a true frost because it wasn't cold enough to frost everything. It was only cold enough to frost the cooler part of my lawn in my yard, my landscape out here. So I don't call it a true frost when I don't have frost over everything. So I woke up, I saw a little bit of frost, a light frost in the back, nothing up front whatsoever. So I didn't call it a true frost, but I knew that it was confusing the okra and the tomato plant. I had a Black Beauty tomato plant out there that I was just interested to see what it would do. I went ahead and I pulled them up because that soil has been through a lot. That soil has gone through growing a tree that I killed. Yep, that was my only fault this year. I killed a peach tree, straight up killed her. Granny, she's gone. Granny done died twice there. You know, she died once in real life, and then I killed her my daggone self because I named her, and then like a month later she died on me. But then it went from growing a peach tree, and with that peach tree, I grew garlic, which came out really well. It was spring garlic, so the bulbs weren't super developed, but the garlic itself was really good. And then I shift gears, and I threw okra in there, and then I threw a tomato plant in there. So that soil really just needs to rest right now. It's been through a lot. I dumped a whole bunch of worm castings in it the other day when I was live on Sunday. When I was, harvesting the worm castings, I had a whole bunch of worm casting goo and gunk at the bottom. I just poured that straight in there, mix it up, and I'm gonna let her rest for the rest of the season. She's done. She's done her job. So it's always good to let that soil rest if you can.
Yeah.
Hey, homeschool life, how you doing?
Hello.
She laughed. Hey, sir, she giving me the hand. You giving me the hand. My mom okra is still growing. I know, same here. Light frost, spotty. Right. My concern with it, right? So there's a little concern that I have with these light frosts is because some things, I don't have a lot of fruit trees, right? But a lot of fruit trees out there require chill hours. So while we're happy because we're getting extended growth period for some things that we might have been late on, that could be devastating to some orchards out there, right? If we stay too warm too long in certain zones and they don't get enough chill hours, that could be a low production the next year, which equates to you paying $1.19 a pound for an apple versus 89 cents a pound for an apple. So
absolutely,
that has
I mean, anybody that's growing, anybody that's growing their own fruit trees, you know, they got to have those chill hours as well. So I mean, your peaches, your plums, your pears, all of that needs to have some kind of cold to hit it for at least 200, 300 hours, which, you know, it doesn't seem long, but it adds up.
So keep that in mind if you guys got those fruit trees that require chill hours. Like, it might be all fine and dandy because you got your whatever in the ground, you got your kale in the ground late, so now it's got time to mature before it gets too cold, or you got your collards in the ground late, but there could be some adverse reactions that may affect you in your own garden or even at that grocery store. So just keep that in mind. Like, take advantage of this moment, but it concerns me on a few different levels to where we're warm when we're not supposed to be, which means the ecosystem in itself is going to shift a little bit. So we're going to see some changes in our local food markets and grocery stores. So just keep that in mind, guys. Thanks for the link to the channel, Turf. You're welcome. The homeschool life. That homeschool life. Are you a channel, That Homeschool Life? Do you have content, or is that just a cool name? Permaculture Food Forest was talking about that today. About that today. I think you said about the today, but I think you meant that. He has to get rid of his peach tree. Yes, he was talking about chill hours because Love Notes brought him up to speed, asked him, hey, do you have enough chill hours for your area? Because she knew what zone he was in, and he went and looked it up. But what was dope about that is that Stark Bros ended up giving him his money back because they sold him a tree.
Cool.
Right, they sold him a tree. It didn't really have anything to do with this shift in temperature that we saw, but because of his zone, he wasn't going to get enough chill hours for the particular peach tree that he had. The peach tree that he had so he could have kept the tree, but it wasn't going to be able to produce and fruit the way that he wanted it to. So it's just been a cute looking tree and it's not productive. So he's going to, I think he said he was going to gift it to a different YouTuber that he knew or something like that. Maybe he even said that he was going to give it away, but keep those things in mind. But because Stark Bros made that mistake when he put in the zip code and they said, you're good for your zone. When he called them and explained to them the situation, they refunded him his money. So
that's cool. That's very cool.
You do have a chance. Cool.
But with that, just like we have in our zones and colder, we put up greenhouses to help keep our plants warm when we need to. They do actually have houses that you can use to cool your plants down and throw them in there. And that'll help simulate your chill hours if you really wanted to grow a peach tree in 9B and 10A or something like that. You would just have to kind of do the flip side of what we do here to keep our plants warm. You just have to put it in a chill house, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's cool. That Homeschool Life. Are you a teacher? I just looked up your channel. She's got little tips for like homeschooling and special need books specifically. Oh, cool. Look at that.
Okay, so that'll be cool because we're about to do, starting next week, we're going to talk about hydroponics. I think you just came into the room and didn't see when we were talking about that. That'll be an excellent project for your kids.
Yeah, it would. Kids would enjoy hydroponics for sure. Yep. And just to give you some insight of the plants that we're growing with a micro tomato plant. It's called an orange hat tomato. I actually got the seeds from Baker Creek, rareseeds.com. And then we're also going to do bok choy or pak choy. Which one? I keep
pak choy, I think.
I think we're doing pak choy. I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk about it next week when we go live.
Yeah, we're growing greens.
Yeah. You've been homeschooling for over 10 years. Wow. She said, I'm jealous of y'all with all that code because I need chill hours from my anemic peaches and cherry trees. She said hydroponics. I'm sold on whatever you recommend. Yeah, we're doing hydroponics, and we're going to recommend. We're going to tell you exactly where we got our kits from. Of course, you can build your own if you feel like you are savvy enough to do that. But the place where we got our kits from, I'm going to let you know it's a really good deal. One-stop shop, hit the easy button. It's a really good deal. It really is. So I've always wanted to try hydroponics. What do I need to get started? Lights, medium, etc. So yeah, we're going to cover that next week, Jay. We're going to run through the easy buttons. You definitely don't need anything like you see behind me. I got this because this is a lifetime investment. I'm very committed and serious about growing my own and eating my own on a long-term scale. So, but we'll go over that for sure. And we're giving you enough time to start your seeds with us. And then by the time you start your seeds and you order the kit or you get your supplies, by the time we do the next live, you should be either a few days behind us or right there with us and ready to move your plants into the next stage, kind of like how we did the wine video. Yeah. We said, copy that. Cool. Well, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know about you.
I'm done. I do appreciate you holding it down while my internet has been acting really funky. So I do thank you for that guava. We didn't even guava, man.
We didn't even guava, my friend. Yeah. This wine is good, though. It's a really good wine.
Yeah, I like this blend I put together. I'm going to have to bottle that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So last call for some last minute questions, people. Y'all got let's say you got 2 minutes. It's 9:53. You got 2 minutes. Slide in those last questions. And
now I'm like lead now. I didn't realize we had gone that long. But it was good. It was good. A lot of great questions. I appreciate everybody participating. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, great interaction. Unicorn Lady said guava. That homeschool life said guava. I'm really interested in your channel, That Homeschool Life, because I think you can help a lot of people out there. I'm gonna be binge watching you in the next couple of days, see what you got going on over there.
Same here.
Yeah. Especially with what's going on. A lot of people homeschooling for the first time. I'm sure you got some tips on that too. No guava, but sipping. Okay. All right. Cool.
That's okay.
Guava, you all. Thanks for the info, Turf and Miss Craft. No problem, Quietly Gardening. You know, it's been a while since I've been over your channel. I need to check in with you too. I love that name too, Quietly Gardening. Yeah. Checking with you. You know, I'm gonna have some free time on my hands, so don't be alarmed when you see me dropping a whole bunch of videos that I've just been sitting on for a while. That's why I haven't been in your channel in a while. Quietly Gardening, what you doing over there? Get some content out there, girl. You on a hiatus? It's been a while since you dropped the video. That's what it is.
Didn't you just say that you were about to take a hiatus?
I'm coming off of my hiatus. See, I haven't dropped the video in 2 weeks, so I'm about to come off my hiatus. So I'm just giving a little pep talk to get back in there. I get it when you guys take a break. Get back in there. I wonder how that pear tree cutting is going. Y'all been here a minute, I know. Did all my gardening work and done made dinner too. You're right. We've been over here a minute. I haven't been doing anything too much schoolwork. I hear you, right? FR Humphrey, Guava, Goddess Leo, LOL. Okay, well, I think we're good on the questions. I enjoyed y'all. This was fun.
I enjoyed every last one of you. I really did. And again, thank you for being patient with me and on my channel. And like I said, I'm going to have to get a booster because I enjoyed this way too much to be sitting on the sidelines and not being able to interact the way I want to. So it's coming.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, good night,
all right, then
family.
we're gonna say good night to you all. See you on the flip flop side. See you on the flip side.
Boom.
Love you all. Be good.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. And we're going to stop that.
What do you edit with? Oh, FR Humphrey. And she was talking to me, Da Vinci
Okay.
Reserve.
No, not yet. I'm trying to. If
Da
I can
Vinci
figure out where it
Resolve is what I use. I use Da Vinci Resolve.
Keep chatting among yourselves. I'll stop in just a minute.
Da Vinci Resolve, that's what I use. If you were talking to me, who was it? Where'd it go? Did I just lose it? Oh, FR, Felicia. Yeah, I use Da Vinci Resolve, the free version. The free version is what I use. It works pretty well. Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
All right. Now, is it just me or is there not a stop button?
You got to let what you gotta do. Let me see.
See, I told
Yeah.
you I'm still green with this. So
It's not my live, so I don't really know.
I found it. Okay, let's try this again. Peace, people.
Yes, hit the like button on the way out, people. Thank you. Appreciate the love.
Thank you. Love you all. Bye.
Yeah. Flip side. Cool. Tight.
Yeah, I think it stopped. It says in stream. Yes.
You ended it.